Howdy YouTube, a cool review for you today, and that's because we're taking a look at the Star Wars Saga Legends from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Darth Maul. He's got to be one of the all-time coolest Sith, well, he's not really a Sith Lord, but he's a Sith apprentice. Here he is in his training gear. Definitely the best part about The Phantom Menace. Lucky it had this guy in it, otherwise that movie would have been, well, basically Liam Neeson and Jar Jar Binks, which, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, comes in the old school Hasbro Saga Legends packaging, which I was never really a big fan of. Always found it very bulky and very big. I actually picked this up from my local comic book shop as part of a collection that was being sold with a series of other really rare figures, which I'm going to review for you guys as well. But yeah, as you can see, I love collecting Darth Maul figures. I've got some of the main ones that they've released of him that I think are pretty cool, at least anyway. Some of the rare ones to note, I guess, obviously, here he is in his training gear. The exclusive from Episode 1 that they released as well was very similar in training gear as well, but came out a little bit earlier than the movie from memory. But let's get this guy opened up. And taking a look at the back of the packaging, I really like the shot at the top of Darth Maul in the training gear. Even though we never saw that in the movie, I think this costume looks really sick. The read-up says, the chosen apprentice of the Sith Lord Darth Sidious, Darth Maul has undergone years of demanding and sometimes brutal training to become an incredible warrior for the ancient order of the Sith. After expertly wielding his lightsaber to prove his skill, he bows respectfully before his master. One of the things I love is that they brought this guy back in the Clone Wars, and also in the comics. If you're reading the current Star Wars comics, the Obi-Wan and Anakin series, and also the Star Wars series, they have alluded to Darth Maul making another appearance, and that would be fantastic. Other figures in the set, we've got Chewie, Kid Fisto, that's a pretty sick figure. Holographic Clone Commander Cody, that's a fairly rare figure from memory. We've got the two battle droids. I actually love the battle droids that came out as part of this wave. They had a really cool camo paint scheme, and I thought that looked sick, and a variety of clone troopers as well. So let's get Darth Maul out of packaging. So there is a great saying, never meet your heroes, and that saying basically exists on the premise that a lot of times you expect something, you have all these great perceptions, and then reality sets in. The thing that you really liked or really looking forward to turns out to be crap. And unfortunately, this is one of those cases, and it seriously sucks. We'll start with what's good. Well, the accessories are pretty decent. I'll zoom in so you guys can see the lightsaber that this guy comes with is probably the most detailed lightsaber I've ever seen. Lots of great paintwork on this. Hopefully you guys can see it's got that beautiful metallic-y silver. That is very impressive. You can take the little bits out of the lightsaber as well, which is always good. Nice accessory. Another nice accessory is the Sith training droid. That is pretty cool. Hopefully you guys can see that. Lots of nice detail on there too. And then we come to the actual figure, which is one of the worst figures I've encountered. Why is that? Well, visually it looks stunning. Hopefully you guys can see. That is the coolest Darth Maul costume I have ever seen. I think it looks great, especially when you compare it, and I'll bring in some of the other Darth Mauls just for comparison. Here's another training Darth Maul figure, which is a really cool figure as well. I think the paint on his face is slightly off, but you know, it's not bad. We've got the recently released Darth Maul, which I actually like his costume a lot because it's from the Clone Wars, but the articulation on that is terrible. Mind you, it is better than this guy, and we'll get into that. This is still the best Darth Maul I've come across, and that was released as part of the Sith 3-pack, which I believe was a Kmart exclusive. Now, as I said, visually he looks great. The only thing that's crap about this figure is the articulation, and when I say crap, it's horrible. He's got a swivel head, swivel arms, swivel elbows, swivel forearms, swivel waist, swivel legs, swivel knees, and swivel boots. Now, what's wrong with all those? Well, normally on a ball-jointed figure, you get a good range of articulation and motion. This guy, however, has these little rolling things on the back so that you can twist his hand. Look at that awesome hand action right there. They came out quite wrong. But, yeah, pretty terrible, especially when you consider that at the time this guy came out, they had plenty of figures with ball-jointed articulation. So it really ruins what is visually, I think, the coolest looking Darth Maul costume released. I love how this looks. The red and black color scheme looks brilliant. As a Sith Lord, it looks brilliant. As a figure, it is terrible. As a result, it does not stand on its own. You really essentially are relying on the figure stand that it comes with. And thankfully, it does come with a figure stand, but a little disappointed. So overall, what do I think of this figure? If you're a die-hard Darth Maul fan, then yes, it's worth picking up, but do not take it out of the packaging. Keep it sealed in there. Look at it. Imagine how cool it would be to open it up, but whatever you do, do not open it up because it is a serious letdown. Luckily, I picked this up for about 10 bucks. So in that respect, I'm a little bit happy. But even the pose he's sculpted in is terrible. The articulation really annoys me, especially considering when this guy was released, they did have the ball-jointed technology, so they could have made this absolutely awesome. Instead, it's not. It's a little bit of a letdown, but I hope at least you guys have enjoyed this review on the Star Wars Saga Legends from the Phantom Menace, Darth Maul.